Taboo Talk with Ray and Steve podcast takes a close-up look at controversial subject matter and hot-button topics, adding humor, cynicism, and a dose of reality to the stuff we're not supposed to talk about anymore. Politics, religion, sex, gender identity, violence, corruption. Nothing is left unturned in this lighthearted approach to information dissemination. The world is experiencing a pandemic of cowardice. 80% of people do not believe the craziness they've been coerced to agree with. Grab a friend, grab a beverage, and dive in with us as we take on the narrative and blast social stigmas with truth. Here are your hosts, Patriots Ray Amanat and Steve Reed.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody out there in social media land, the blogosphere, TV land, wherever you're tuning in to Taboo Talk with Ray and Steve. I'm Ray Amanat, located in, right now it's the not so sunny Florida. It's the rainy season out here, so we're dealing with a lot of rain. But hey, it's still Florida. And of course, my co-host, Mr. Steve Reed, from an undisclosed outhouse, warehouse, safe house, something like that, somewhere in northern Texas. Mr. Steve.
Padded house.
Padded house, yes. We all need that every now and then.
So, Ray, I got your package.
Yay, we both have. It's annoying, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, how's Ray today?
Your wife probably hates me, but hey.
Well, the first time she was puzzled. We'll just put it that way.
Well,
so,
we
anyway.
still got to. I'm going with Clucky, but if you guys can come up with a better name than Clucky the Chicken to wake the cluck up, America, please comment on our chat on the Facebook Live video. Give us some names. We've got a handful of names. We have not picked one yet, but we should just set a deadline date to pick a name and
we should
give that winner. Since you're a nationally known author and I'm a nationally known author, they get a whole bunch of books from both of us if we so choose the name that they gave us. So send us the name for this Freedom Chicken to wake the cluck up. Let's go from the chicken back to the eagle, please.
So, Ray, anything going on today?
Well, now that I'm back in Florida, my allergies from St. Louis are almost gone. I still have a little bit of a sneeze and a cough, but hey, everything is clearing up. If you look at last week's show to this week's show, my voice was like, "Hello, I'm death warmed over," but now I'm feeling a little bit better.
So, are you telling me that you're allergic to liberalism in St. Louis?
I'm allergic to something in St. Louis. I mean, as soon as I got off the plane, my eyes started watering, my nose started running, and I just started nonstop sneezing, and I just, I'm allergic to Missouri.
Well, you do realize that if your nose runs and your feet smell, you're built upside down?
Explain yourself.
If your nose runs,
right,
and your feet smell,
okay, that's the part I don't get.
That your feet, right. That's dad joke from like third grade.
Help us out, audience. Help us out, audience. This is.
Your feet smell. Okay, if you have stinky feet,
right.
Oh, let's move on.
I get it now. It's backwards. I'm backwards.
Mercy.
My feet are smelling.
Yeah.
And my nose is running.
Yes, you're built upside down.
Yeah. Earlier it was more, but
Yeah.
I get your dad joke.
So,
So
Ray,
what's going
is
on
there
in your world, Mr. Steve?
not a whole lot. I mean, it's been kind of slow. I mean, in every way. I mean, wife did a walkthrough with a new homeowner, or soon to be new homeowner. So she's got a closing this time next week. So
So for those of you that don't know, Steve's wife is a realtor, and if you're ever looking to buy or sell a home somewhere in northern Texas, give her a call.
actually, give her a call or give me a call anytime, because she can refer you to another agent anywhere in the United States. So she is connected. We'll just put it that way. So, and our buddy Steve is here with us today. So, welcome, Steve. So, so
Right.
Ray, I I haven't bothered turning the news on. Is there anything going on in the news?
Well, I think me personally, even though I'm a conservative and I tend to vote more Republican, I think I'm gonna become a Democrat.
Ray, that has some merit. That has some
Um,
merit. I think that's a great idea.
Let me explain to our audience. It seems that Republicans just can't get away with anything. Anything they say or do,
Yeah.
they get criminally charged and shut down, and they
Yep.
get, threatened to be put in jail. But the Democrats, boy, they could get away with murder Hillary Clinton, or they could get away with looting stores and stealing up to $999 worth of merchandise,
Yep.
and that's not a felony. They get to go out of jail. They can they can have a laptop full of evidence that the FBI had for over 5 years, and we're talking about Hunter Biden here, and all he does is get a slap on the wrist and say, naughty, naughty, you gotta pay some fines for past taxes, but there's nothing to see here.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, if I want to get away with stuff and not get in trouble, I think I should be a Democrat.
Ray,
They're wanting to let me add to that. They're wanting to, let's see, kill babies in late term abortion and get away with it, without any repercussions. In a sense, it's murder. They're wanting to just let willy nilly people in the border, and what's that doing? It's letting them,
yeah.
because they want them as voters. It's letting them break the law just so that they can get that D by their name where they could be a Democrat and vote so that they stay in power. So,
Okay.
I mean, they're letting people get away with everything.
Right. There's another aspect of what you're talking about before I give this perspective on things. This is an opinion-based program. It is
Oh,
our opinions, and because we are accurate and correct, then you can just take that to the bank. Anyway,
and anyone else can take their opinions and just,
so Ray, there's another group of people that love the whole aspect of illegal immigration, and that is the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, because it's cheap labor.
right.
And the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, I used to be a
Is it
fan.
cheap labor or is it child labor? I don't know.
Both. But I am no longer a fan of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. They are corrupt. They are just trying to help big business get cheap labor. And so, anyway, here's another thing that's going on. I don't know if you've heard it, but the Attorney General for the state of Texas, Ken Paxton, was impeached recently by the state house in Texas. Ken Paxton happens to be very conservative. He's right there with President Donald Trump, and he is making waves because he has basically kicked out the LGBT world and the abortion world and so forth. And he is really trying to get traditional family values back in the marketplace. And sadly, there were a lot of rhinos in the Texas State House that voted for impeachment. And there are a lot of people that are going to be kicked out of the Texas Congress coming up in a couple of years. So it's going up before the Texas Senate soon. So
Doesn't that just make you sick? I mean, just make you sick to your stomach. It's
yes,
that's the other thing. It's the enemy within. Where I always say the Democrats have a Trojan horse,
yeah,
where the communists are have worked their way into all facets of government. They're tentacles because they're a bunch of slimy jellyfish. Um, and with that, uh, boy, I just lost my train of thought. Help me out here, Steve.
what
They're
about
putting all their tentacles. They're getting everything. So they're the Trojan horse. I never see Republicans doing the same
yeah,
thing, to get into their ranks, posing as a Democrat or posing as whatever, because these people posed as centrist Democrats.
yep,
Once they got elected into office and everything else, they just took everything far left.
exactly.
Why don't the Republicans pretend they're Democrats and get in their good graces? And when they're in a position of power, then they can take things back to center or back right,
And
and reset our country.
so, who's behind all of this stuff, or much of this stuff with the tentacles? Old
Well,
Georgie Porgy.
now it's George Soros and his son.
Yes.
If George Soros's health is, hopefully finally
Yeah.
going,
And son is
I don't
even
know.
saying that he's even more political than his father is.
And
So,
that's a very scary thought. Excuse me, audience. But his son has had a lifetime of being groomed by his father, to think and behave and control whatever they're able to control with their money a specific way because they have that agenda.
and it's sad. I heard somebody say recently who was a former Fox reporter, commentator, host, whatever, that they were told on more than one occasion to not mention George Soros on air on Fox. So that's pretty scary. Yeah, yeah, that's real scary.
So that just tells me that Fox not only has the who was it that the pharmaceutical companies that
Pfizer.
for yeah that wanted Tucker Carlson gone, and
Yeah.
that's not just the only person that is
Oh no.
has their tentacles in Fox News that's making them change their whole news format. I
Exactly.
mean, I've stopped watching Fox News. I turn it on, look at it, and then just go to Newsmax or One American News to
Yeah.
get my news.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's
There are a couple of people that I will listen to from Fox. But for the most part, I'm not paying any attention to Fox these days. There's too many other outlets for quality news and good conservative opinion. I don't need to watch Fox. So I'll occasionally listen to Jesse Waters, occasionally the Five, or snippets from the Five. Maria Bartiromo. I'll occasionally listen to some of the things that she has. It all depends on who they are interviewing and what the topic of conversations. But I don't sit down and turn the TV on and watch Fox. So
right.
I can't tell you the last time I turned Fox on the TV. It just doesn't happen.
I agree. I
So
agree.
so Ray, is there anything specific that we need to talk about today?
Well, I mean, let's break down the news cycle and start with the difference between the way they're treating Donald Trump and the way they're treating Hunter Biden as far as how they're investigating
Well,
each one of them.
before we get going onto that, and we will get there, we are in the midst of a coup d'etat, and the Democrats, liberals, progressives, communists, Marxists, socialists. I'm sorry, Ray. I'm so sorry for being so redundant. They are trying to pull off a coup. They are trying to keep a candidate from the White House by doing all of these different things against Donald Trump and then whitewashing all the stuff that dear sweet Hunter is trying to do.
And
So,
what's sad is they're not even hiding who they are anymore.
no, not anymore. Not anymore.
They're more or less, coming out. I'm a communist, or I am a libertarian that is a Marxist, and they don't care anymore.
Yeah.
They're just say it to your face.
Well, what's crazy is, 10 years ago, Bernie Sanders, everybody was like, you've got it. The guy's a socialist. He's a communist. He spent his honeymoon in Russia. What is wrong? And people pushed him away. But yet now, so many of those in Democrat leadership are embracing Bernie and saying, we want to be just like you. So we look at all the stuff that's going on, how Trump was framed as a Russian asset when in fact it was Joe Biden and Hillary. All of the legal crap that Donald Trump is dealing with, we are definitely experiencing a two-tiered justice system, not just one for Hillary, but one for Hillary and Joey and Hunter and so forth.
And Michael. Don't forget Barack and Michael.
I'm sorry, say it again.
Don't forget Barack Obama and his wife.
Oh yeah, we haven't even gotten there. But you look at all of the different things that have gone on, and this is just a short list of all of the corruption. Hillary knew that Trump was being framed. In fact, she had the whole thing set up. It was all designed to keep people from looking at her email scandal. All of the other investigative things, lying to the FISA court by James Comey, former FBI director. They're trying to interfere with the Durham report, which, by the way, I've not had a chance to watch any of it. I watched about 3 minutes of it, but sorry about that, folks. John Durham was actually in Congress today, and he was testifying. So we'll see what happens with all of that stuff. But I mean, the list goes on. But what is hot right now is what's going on with Hunter.
Now, that is not a very flattering picture for those of you that are listening to our show. It's a picture of Hunter smoking a joint or whatever else in a bathtub. Looks like he's rubbing his nipples. I don't know.
Oh, Ray, with that said, we need to take a commercial break. So let's get to something a little more positive. So hang on, buddy.
Hi, welcome to Heroes in Action. I'm Ray Amanat, founder and creator of this training system. I originally made it so that everyone can train for free. We have programs for kids, for women, families, and businesses. I'm an author, speaker, and educator on everything that has to do with violence and bullying prevention education. If you'd like more information about who we are and what our programs are, please go to our website at heroesinaction.us or give me a call if you have any questions at 727-314-2534. We hope to see you here to train.
Oh, I can't look at that anymore. I got to change that. Sorry.
It's been a while since we've actually plugged each other's books. But for those of you, this handsome devil here, which is me. Hey, look at me. It's my first book that I made, Bully, Victim, or Hero, which is kind of my autobiography about how I went from being a victim to becoming the bully. There was a stage in my life where I was not a very nice person, to where now I travel on a national level and do lectures and seminars for free, except for our travel expenses. Our speaking, we don't have any speaking fees or seminar fees that we charge, just our travel expenses until we get enough donors coming in to cover all of that we won't have to charge for anything. We just want to empower people, and my book is ideal for parents, ideal for teachers, working with adolescents, teenagers that are struggling with identity, they're struggling with being bullied, and don't know who they are, and they're searching for those answers. My book can kind of guide them towards finding their true selves.
Oh, Ray, that opens up so many doors because there are so many liberals that don't know who they are. So every liberal American needs a copy of your book, so maybe they can
Yes,
figure out
they do.
who they
Yes, they
are.
do. You can go to Barnes and Noble, Books a Million, all the .coms. You can go to Amazon.com and just look up my name, Ray Almanat, or Bully, Victim, or Hero. And if you want to help us out so that we don't have to charge for anything, you can go to our website at heroesinaction.us, and hit the donate now button, or use this QR code for those of you watching us, to get to the donation page and make a one-time or recurring donation. All donations go specifically to covering all of our costs, all of our handouts, for when we do our lectures and seminars. It doesn't go to anything else. So I'm not even getting a salary. I haven't gotten a salary in the last 3 years. We're trying to use it to just get people the information that they need to keep themselves and their loved ones safe.
So, Ray, people can go to this QR code if you're watching us online. You can scan the QR code and go to your website and donate there. Or what is your website, Ray? Tell our listening audience.
heroesinaction.us. Heroesinaction.us.
Very
And if you
cool.
guys just, we have an ebook. You can download the ebook, or you can just purchase the book at any of the .com stores. Yeah, I'd love to do a book signing event with you where our fans can meet us and we can actually do a whole bunch of autographed books and take pictures with everyone and meet our fans. So
That could be fun.
that's something we need to set up.
All right, right.
All
Well,
right,
let's keep going.
let's get back to this pathetic
So
POS.
let's do a real quick recap of exactly what's going on and why Hunter Biden was charged and what his plea deal entailed. Number one, he was charged essentially with tax evasion, which is a federal offense reduced down to a misdemeanor. Okay. And it's a federal offense. There are people that have gone to prison over tax evasion. Okay.
All right.
Now, let's look at some of the little side notes with this. Here's the number one thing that they haven't talked about. It was $1 million that he did not declare on taxes. Okay. My question is, what was the origin of that $1 million? He was supposed to pay 10%. No, actually, he was supposed to pay a lot more than that, but it was $100,000 tax liability that he just didn't want to pay it. And so, what was the origin of the money?
I mean, they're not showing any businesses. They've got a whole bunch of dummy LLCs and things like that
Yep.
to funnel money.
Yep.
But none of them shows unless it's his little finger painting pictures. that
Oh, that's new. That's new.
that he's
This all
selling
goes back 6,
his
7
finger
years.
painting.
Okay. So wouldn't it be interesting if we could find out what the origin was of the money in this whole tax evasion thing? Reduced to a misdemeanor, which means no jail time. Okay. It was a federal felony reduced to a misdemeanor. Okay.
So
Slap on the hand.
what did the FBI do as far as investigating?
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much. All right.
Oh,
So
they did
what
nothing.
else was he accused of? Lying on a federal gun form, which holds a 10-year felony possibility. And what did he get? He got a slap on the hand and said, "Be good for the next, I don't know, 5 years or
It's
so."
because he was a drug user, an
No.
addict, that I believe, they said that, well, we got to give him a pass because he's an addict, and we gotta help him out because he's like a child, and we need to help the children because it's all about the children.
Yeah.
It's all about the children that he probably looks at on the porn sites that he's got on his laptop.
And right, did you know that he threw the gun away that he bought after lying on a federal gun form? Okay, which is a felony. Okay, and there were several. I don't remember who they were. I saw a real quick blip yesterday. There were two big name black rappers that are spending time or were spending time in prison on the exact same charge. They were let out because they got a pardon from, right? Yeah, I'm going to throw this out. I
Who
want you to,
pardoned them? I would love to know.
well, you tell me, who do you think it was that pardoned them?
And these are guys that had gun charges, firearm charges, just like our buddy Hunter here, right?
Yeah. Yep. But here's the crazy thing. The person that pardoned them is the big racist himself, Donald J. Trump.
Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah. So obviously Donald Trump is not a racist. So there was one other little tidbit that people may not know about, and that is it was the Secret Service that actually found the gun in a dumpster across from a school. It's all about the children.
Because it's all about the children.
Yeah, yeah. So, dear sweet Hunter got a slap on the hands with that. He is on probation now. No time in jail, no time in prison, and no record for this. So he could go out and buy another gun if he wanted to. It's just absolutely insane.
And that's why
What's going on?
I think I want to be a Democrat, because they get away with whatever they want.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you just look at the Democrats over the past 30 years, starting with the Clintons, and all of the corruption that they had with the Whitewater investigation and Hillary earning $100,000 on $1,000 or $5,000 investment, all of the dead bodies, literally dead bodies that are left on the side of the road. And now you look at
Benghazi. Don't forget about all this other
Benghazi.
stuff.
How about Jeffrey Epstein's Little Black Book, and the number of times Bill Clinton and Hillary went to Pedo Island.
Right.
It just absolutely insane what's going on with some of this stuff. I don't understand. So, Ray, you may be onto something. It may be that we all need to become Democrats. Yes.
Wake the clock up, America.
Yep. Oh, it's insane. It's insane. So here's another little interesting tidbit. Hunter Biden's attorneys were interviewed, and supposedly the investigators with the attorney's office, or with the state, the special prosecutor in Delaware, supposedly the attorney, Hunter's attorney, was never asked about the infamous laptop from hell. So how does this happen?
Well, when you are able to take the Department of Justice and turn it into a weapon against your opponents and use them as a shield to protect yourself, um, we no longer have a republic. We no longer have a democracy. We have um, uh, a communist. I don't know how you want to describe it, but it's turning into an what's the word, authoritarian government where you have a king or you have people pulling the strings of the puppet that is the acting king that makes decisions for us. They want government to make decisions about what we eat, about what we drive, about how we live. We are slowly losing our freedoms on a day-to-day basis. My opinion.
Oh no, that is fact, Ray. When the government comes in and says you can no longer use a gas stove, that's corruption. And I still have not heard the reason why that is such a bad thing. That most of the big restaurants that are around, the nice restaurants, are using gas stoves. The real restaurants, okay, the ones that are cooking meals in house, not the ones that are microwaving, the ones that are cooking meals. They're using gas stoves. I know. Right now, unfortunately, we have an electric stove.
Right.
But I know Suzanne has said on more than one occasion that she would much rather have a gas stove. That's what she was used to. So you look at those kinds of bureaucratic regulatory things, it is absolutely insane.
It's, if you look at California
I don't want
and
to.
and what they're not doing, their 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 electrical grid is they're having blackouts out there. They're not doing anything with the reservoirs as
Yeah.
far as building up water so that they can have it for when they go through droughts. They're not doing anything with their forestry,
Yep.
controlled burns and things like that. So that what's happening in Canada doesn't happen again in
Yeah.
California.
Exactly. And
They're
unfortunately,
every, the homelessness that's in Los Angeles and in San Francisco, the amount of crime, the amount of drugs, the amount of trafficking that's going on there, they're not doing a thing about it.
but they are grooming, the national Democrats are grooming Gavin Newsom to become the next president. But unfortunately, with that said, I want to talk about something very positive once again.
Life isn't always sunshine and roses. Sometimes it's full of roadblocks. The kind that aren't as easy to fix as filling a hole or repairing a car. Personal roadblocks are another thing altogether. Why do I feel stuck? The same things anger me every time. Why am I doing this anyway? Fixing it yourself can be frustrating and confusing. And if more than one person is involved, DIY might mean destroy it yourself. Maybe it's time for another solution. Steve Reed shines a light on your roadblocks and helps you find the best way forward for you. Stephen Reed Ministries, bringing light and hope for a victorious life. To overcome your roadblocks, schedule an appointment with Steve Reed today.
Speaking of stuck, our country is stuck, and there's so many people that you could help to get unstuck. As far as have a clearer mindset on,
Mhm.
who they are and what their expectations ought to be for
Yep.
this country. I mean, we need more people to help people think for themselves rather than have the government think for them.
Yeah.
The government is wanting everyone to be dependent on them. And what you do for people is you help them find their independence, which I applaud you for everything that you do.
Yep. And Ray, let's get back to our wonderful subject matter for today. Did you know that Hunter Biden never registered as a foreign lobbyist? And
I did know that.
yeah, there were several people that were indicted on a charge related to this under the Trump administration and spent time in prison. But yet Hunter can go to wherever, China, Ukraine, Russia, Romania, whatever, and he can act as a foreign lobbyist, and he
And he's
doesn't have
not a
to register.
registered foreign agent, so
Exactly.
that's
Yeah.
a crime in itself.
Yep. Here's another little tidbit. The media, the left-leaning or the left-wing liberal Marxist talking heads keep saying, well, Donald Trump appointed the special prosecutor to go after Hunter. Donald Trump took the recommendations of the two senators, liberal Democrat senators from the state of Delaware, and appointed a special prosecutor based on their recommendation. So, enough of that bilge from those on the far left. Here's another little tidbit, Ray. I don't know if you picked up on this. The case is not completely closed on Hunter. It is an ongoing investigation. Why do you think that matters in this whole thing?
Well, hold on. We need a little applause for that. I think that when they see Joe Biden is of no more use to them, they have to have something that they can use as a card, a trump card, to be able to get him out of office, to be able to impeach them. So they're going to keep investigating Hunter. So if Joe's not going to be the guy to be the Democrat nominee for president in 2024, they have to have something over him to say, do what we say, or we're going to unleash the beast.
Okay, now Ray, there's another aspect of this. Why this is an ongoing investigation? When the Congress, whether it's the Senate or the House, invites Christopher Wray or Merrick Garland to come and have a little conversation with them in an open hearing, those two dignified individuals, very, very highly respected individuals, always telling the truth, never hiding, never covering up anything. Those two can both say, we can't tell you anything else because it's still under investigation. We don't comment on current investigations.
Right.
So they get to continue to cover up things that Hunter has done, whether it's things related to the laptop or things related to the so far up to $30 million in bribes, as per James Comer, committee chair in the House of Representatives. Thank you, James Comer, for all of the hard work that you're doing with all of the suspicious bank reports and all of the banking records that you've been looking at, so far uncovering $30 million in bribes that the Bidens have taken. $30 million.
And yet there's no impeachment proceedings and there's no charges. There's no raid on their house. There's no anything that comes relatively close to what they did to Donald Trump.
Yep. So, Ray, I'm thinking that when Donald Trump is put back in office in January of 2025, I think the first thing he needs to do is just blow up the 7th floor of the FBI headquarters. And
Well, I don't know about
that's
blow up.
that's a cue for you to hit the blow up sound. Okay.
I don't know if I have a blow up sound, but
No, we got to have a nuclear detonation on the 7th floor, which is where all the big shots are.
I will have to find that.
Yeah. Now, obviously, folks, this is a figurative thing. We are not recommending violence. Okay? Don't go getting your panties in a wad. We are not suggesting violence against anybody in the FBI or the DOJ. That is not what we are doing. We are saying figuratively we need to get rid of the hierarchy because the hierarchy in the FBI and the DOJ is all corrupt. So we need to get rid of them. So, Ray, one last little tidbit, just a reminder again. Everything that Hunter was charged with was reduced from felonies to misdemeanor charges, which is a slap on the hand. And they said, no, go stand in the corner and have a timeout for the next 30 minutes, and then you can come back out.
And Jill and Joe Biden were saying, we're proud of our son, and we don't see him doing anything wrong. Yes, he needs help. And they start playing the victim card. Oh, he's the victim. He needs help. He needs this. As opposed to... I mean, they're doing what any parent would do. They're trying to protect their son, but this is ridiculous. I mean, it's like a TV show, a drama TV show that you can't write this stuff. It's just well, actually, I'm sure it's scripted and written for Joe as far as what he needs to say.
Yep. Ray, you know who the real victims are in this whole thing?
The American people.
Exactly. We are the ones that are getting the shaft.
We the people.
Yep. And when we have a two-tier justice system that says liberals, Democrats, Marxists, communists, whatever, can get away with anything, taking bribes, breaking federal laws, et cetera, and you get a slap on the hand, or they don't even investigate. But if Donald Trump dropped a wrapper from a Big Mac on the street walk or on the sidewalk in New York City, he would be arrested.
After he bought meals for everybody at that McDonald's restaurant.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Including the liberals that were there. So,
you know, my brain is going 20 different directions. I think we need to go to our OBBM commercial and then
sounds like a winner.
Regain my train of thought.
There we go.
Now your DFW events can be listed on the DFW events segment of OBBM Network News. New episodes posted each week are reaching people right here in your own backyard. Get in on this. Now it's affordable to reach thousands of people in new markets, offering exposure to your professional network like never before. Get us your listing by Tuesday at noon, and you'll be included in the following week's release on Monday. Email info@offbeatbusiness.com for our digital media kit and discover a better way to reach DFW. Not hosting events? Your business will benefit from the exposure our events list generates. Take advantage of brand exposure on the ticker or with the logo graphic, video advertisement, even a QR code. Click on our QR code to access our digital media kit now.
And the great thing is, not only are they based here in North Texas, but they have a reach nationwide. That's the OBBM Network. And we're excited to be part of the OBBM Network and broadcasting on all the major podcast platforms. Along with
for their network, and then search for us, Taboo Talk with Ray and Steve on their
absolutely
network.
Absolutely. And new episodes are being... Yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to ask you. Do you feel that your senators and congressmen for the state of Texas, and this is for everybody, your personal congressmen and senators, are they representing you, we the people, or are they lining their pockets with money? Are they rhinos? Are they, so, I need to look at the Florida and I need to look at Missouri since I have stakes in both areas.
Yeah.
But, let's hold our representatives accountable.
Yeah.
We need to be voicing to them, do the job that we sent you to.
Exactly.
None of this BS pork barrel spending that
Yep.
says, well, we're bringing jobs for making bridges and roads and this and that. No. Fix the energy, fix the border, fix.
Yeah, exactly.
We want to be energy independent. We want our border secure, and we want this inflation gone. We want gas prices back down. We want housing back to where it was.
Yeah.
Fix that.
Ray,
Enough of this woke crap that's out there.
Yeah.
That's not important.
In Texas, we have Ted Cruz, who very conservative, very pleased with him, and we have John Cornyn. John Cornyn is becoming more and more of a rhino all the time, and voted for the expansion of the FBI and funding their corruption not too long ago in this most recent budget that went through a month or so ago, voted for a blank check. And I'm so disappointed. So we need to get John Cornyn out of office. In my area, I've got Keith Self as my representative, and I'm very pleased. I've had conversations with him and his staff, and they seem to be genuinely interested in our well-being. They are conservative. He is former military, so he's a good man. So I'm pleased with him and with Ted Cruz.
To interview him on our show.
I'll do what I can. I'll do what I can. So,
that would be phenomenal.
All right. Ray, what else is going on?
Well, I mean, that besides all of that mumbo jumbo, we've got a submariner that is lost somewhere out by the Titanic wreckage that I think they only have about 30 or less than 30 hours of oxygen left. So, my question is, you have all these millionaires that were taking a tour of the Titanic on this submarine going down there. Now, we've got the Coast Guard, we've got the Navy, we've got nuclear submarines that are trying to find them. This is our taxpayer dollars going to find a submarine. I hope if we find a submarine and they still survive, that these billionaires are going to pay back all that money that was used to search and find them, search and rescue them. It's another drama story that could be a distraction for something else. I don't know. I hope they're safe. I hope they're alive, and I hope they do the right thing by reimbursing our taxpayer dollars that was used to help rescue them.
Oh, absolutely.
That's, again, my opinion, people.
And they need to do it for the children. Sorry, Ray, I couldn't pass that up. So, folks, again, this is an opinion-based program. Yes, Ray's and my opinions on things, but we do our homework, we do our research, we find out what the facts are. And I will occasionally listen to some of the liberal crap that goes on, and I just shake my head thinking, where did you get that? And the sad thing, Ray, is oftentimes they believe the bilge that they actually are saying.
Well, they've been given the script. All the media pundits are saying the exact same thing, the exact same script as
exactly.
the other. So that those are their marching orders. This is what you need to say. And if enough of them say it enough times, then it must be true because they're all saying it.
Exactly.
That's how they're pulling the wool over the eyes of America.
Well, Ray, unfortunately,
wake America up.
Unfortunately, Ray, we are out of time. So, folks, like, share, subscribe on our YouTube channel. Everything is Taboo Talk with Ray and Steve. Our email address, tabootalkwithrayandsteve@gmail.com. Like, share, comment, friend us, follow us, do everything. Spread the word. We need to get the truth out to more and more people.
And hold your representatives accountable to what they said they were going to do when they got into office.
Exactly. All right. Buddy, have a fabulous day. See ya.
You as well.
Thank you for joining us on today's episode of Taboo Talk with Ray and Steve. If you have suggestions for topics you would like us to discuss, or you would like to become a sponsor, reach out to us today at tabootalkwithrayandsteve@gmail.com. In the meantime, check out the other amazing programs on OBBM Network on all your favorite podcast platforms. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. Join us again for another fun and informative opinion-based episode. This is Taboo Talk with Ray and Steve.